The Swiss Alps are the most incredible mountains in the world, and to fully enjoy them, I've stayed at some of the best mountain hotels and guest houses in the heart of the Alps. There is nothing better than adventuring into the Alps and after a wonderful day of hiking being rewarded with a tasty warm mountain meal and an overnight stay at one of the many Swiss mountain hotels or guest houses along the trail. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 of my most favorite Swiss mountain inns that I've stayed at and can't wait to get back to as soon as possible. Let's start with the Obersteinberg Mountain Hotel located above the enchanting Lauterbrunnen Valley. Lauterbrunnen is home to as many as 72 waterfalls pouring down from the icy glaciers above. Transportation is all around you here as buses, trains, and cable cars help transport you up to get a better view of the Alps. But to get to Obersteinberg, you'll have to take a little hike. Obersteinberg is located in the UNESCO Jungfrau region just a few hours hike up from the end of the valley in Lauterbrunnen. Although off the beaten track, it's worth every effort to overnight here. This rustic 1880s hotel is set just below some of the most beautiful Alps and glaciers in Switzerland. I like the solitude and the laid-back pace here. Even the cows seem stress-free. The 4-mile hike up is roughly a 2,800-foot ascent from Stiechelberg. It's considered a moderate hike with a few steep sections and switchbacks. When you reach Obersteinberg, you might just want to relax on the outside deck or maybe wander around to explore some of the surrounding trails. The hotel is without electricity, but in the evenings you'll be able to see by candlelight and also be warm and cozy with a down comforter on cold nights. There is a working cow farm next door and you'll be offered authentic Swiss mountain cheese and butter for breakfast. You may even be able to purchase some of this fresh mountain cheese for your trek out. In the morning, you can either hike down to Stiechelberg the way you came up, or take the route up and over the mountain and down to Gimmelwald, where you can take the lift down into Lauterbrunnen. Next up is the Cabane de Louvie. This mountain hut is located in the Alps along the popular hiker's Haute route just above the Rhone Valley. The Rhone Valley is a mecca for wine grape production, with over 5,000 producers generating over 400 million bottles of wine annually. The early Greeks and Romans understood the Rhone Valley was good for grape growing, as their history here dates back centuries. You'll also find several castles in the valley, as well as an ancient Roman amphitheater that once sat 5,000 spectators for the violent games played here almost 2,000 years ago. If you're in the Rhone Valley, Cabane de Louvie is fairly easy to reach. Most hikers find this classic mountain hut hiking from Verbier, but you can also get here by driving or taking the bus from the valley to Fluealp. From Fluealp, the trail to Louvie is about 2.5 miles up and is rated as moderate. This secluded mountain hut has dormitory-style sleeping but offers a few private rooms as well. Like most mountain huts, it has shared showers and bathrooms down the hall. Claudia is the guardian at Louvie and prepares tasty warm mountain meals served family style, including her fabulous desserts. Claudia is a wonderful host and enjoys her life here at Louvie, and she looks forward to welcoming you after a hard hike up to the hut.
And so I'm happy to meet these people when they arrive with a smile, because they spend one day in the mountains. Sometimes it was difficult, sometimes it was easy. So it's always a pleasure to talk with these people, and sometimes we make a good friend and we stay friend after the stay here.
Cabane de Louvie is in a beautiful setting just above Lac de Louvie at the elevation of 7,300 feet. Next on the list is the Fluealp Mountain Hotel just above Zermatt. If you've never been to Zermatt, then put this place next on your list. Zermatt is a quaint, car-free village surrounded on 3 sides by mountains and glaciers and of course the Matterhorn. The iconic Matterhorn stands proud over Zermatt, and you can see it from almost anywhere in the valley. And while you're in Zermatt, plan on taking a walk across one of the world's longest pedestrian suspension bridges, the Europaweg Skywalk. At almost a third of a mile long, it's located just outside of Zermatt. This bridge is so fun to cross, I can't wait to do it again. The Fluealp Alpine Hotel sits at 8,600 feet elevation and is reachable by cog train from Zermatt connecting to a cable car. The hotel sits a few hundred yards above Lake Stellisee, and this reflecting lake is the reason why I consider Fluealp one of my favorites. After a wonderful meal and a good night's rest, I get up before dawn and I make my way down to Stellisee to catch the early morning light on the Matterhorn and to witness the incredible reflection in the lake. If you catch it before the breeze picks up and the trout start jumping, you can see an almost perfect copy of the Matterhorn in Stellisee. There's nothing like it. And if you're into the stars and have a clear night, you might consider spending the evening on the hotel deck or even take a stroll down to the lake, as you might see the Matterhorn's reflection at night like I did. Stellisee is a beautiful sight during the day, but I prefer the beauty and solitude in the early morning hour just before sunrise. If you're into fly fishing, you're in luck because Lake Stellisee is stock full of trout and Arctic char, but you'll need a guide because it's for reserved fishing only. Have you heard about Appenzell? Appenzell is in the northeast of Switzerland. This area is usually off the beaten track for Westerners, but it doesn't make it any less stunning. And speaking of stunning, you might want to spend the night at the nearby Aescher Guesthouse built into the side of a mountain. In existence since 1860, Aescher was originally a hut housing farmers, goats, and cows. This mountain cliff guest house is an amazing sight, but to spend a night here is really an adventure. This is a very popular place and it gets pretty busy with day hikers and visitors, but if you can get a reservation for the night, it gets a bit more quiet after the last cable car descends for the day. Your evening and early morning will be mostly all yours. And you might look forward to the traditional mountain breakfast served here. The local Appenzeller cheese and dried meat, cave yogurt, and cheese tart. It's as good as it looks. This guest house is so unique that the walls of the mountain are the actual interior walls of the guest house. The Aescher is 170 years old and worth the effort to come and stay here. Appenzell, like Zermatt, is a car-free village, but just a bit more quaint and slower pace. Getting to Appenzell is an easy train ride from Zurich, and it's definitely worth spending a night or two here while hiking around the Appenzell Alps. Hiking in this region may not be as popular as some of the other hikes mentioned in this video, but it's also less crowded on the trails and life seems a little slower. There are quite a few mountain huts in this area, and I've only been to a handful, so I will definitely be back to explore a few more places. And I'll probably try to squeeze in another stay at the Aescher, as this cliff mountain guest house is so unique I could spend a few days here. Last but not least is the Mountain Hotel Oeschinensee. I'm just going to flat out tell you, the setting for this hotel is just amazing. Located above Kandersteg and on stage 13 of the Via Alpina hike, this beautiful deep blue lake is backed by 500-meter steep cliffs, glaciers, and centuries-old fir trees. It's one of the most beautiful mountain lakes in the Alps. You can get here by hiking over the challenging Hoturli Pass from Fluealp, or you can take the train or drive to Kandersteg, then take the cable car to Oeschinensee. I recommend staying 2 nights at this mountain hotel if you can. It's such a beautiful setting that one day just isn't enough to soak it all in. The reflections here are just stunning. Lake Oeschinensee is part of the UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Area, as it should be. It's just beautiful, and I can't wait to get back here to do some more hiking, filming, and adventuring. If you feel like hiking a bit more, you can take the trail along the lake as it rises up towards the Obersteinberg Hut on the Panorama Trail and stop for a snack or a coffee. This is one nice hike. It's steep for sure, but the views are incredible. The view from up here is just stunning. I've been up this way a few times and had a relaxing picnic among the cows overlooking the lake and the glaciers. It's so gorgeous you won't want to leave. On your travels, you may wonder what to do with your luggage when you overnight at a mountain hotel. Swiss hotels are very accommodating, so wherever you stay the night before your mountain hotel, they will hold your luggage for the nights you are up at the mountain hotel, or they can help you with a luggage transfer to your next hotel. At Oeschinensee, you can take your bag with you on the cable car, then take the transport to the hotel with your luggage. For other mountain hotels, I just take my backpack with my overnight essentials, cameras, and jacket. All the hotels provide warm meals and drinks, and you can also bring your own picnic food if you prefer. Switzerland is an incredible country, from the snowy Alps and the icy glaciers to the cascading waterfalls and clear lakes. And getting closer to the scenery by hiking the well-marked and maintained trails, you'll encounter exotic wildflowers well into summer, and you will most likely hear the ringing cacophony of the cowbells before you see any cows. These docile milk and cheese producers will be munching on fresh flowers and grasses all summer long near most hiking trails, and if you're lucky enough, you might even see a wild ibex or chamois. Staying overnight at a mountain hotel just gets you closer to nature, especially in the evening and early morning hours when you might be the only one there. This wraps up my 5 favorite mountain hotels and huts in Switzerland. On my next adventure here, I hope to find a few more favorites to add to my list. If you're making plans for Switzerland, think about staying at a mountain hotel or a hut to get off the beaten track and really enjoy what Switzerland has to offer.